Hey guys, welcome back to Become Your of Christ, where one verse means one life inside. Today, instead of just looking at one verse, we're going to be looking at multiple verses as it relates to the topic God's presence in our lives. Drop a comment below and let me know of a time in which you have recognized God's presence in your life. In today's time, when it's so easy to recognize all the destruction and pain in the world caused by the devil, I want to make sure that I take the time to really show off God's presence. And I'm going to use experiences of my own as I relate to this topic. All right, let's begin. So, we know the first reason that God is present in our lives is because we wake up every day. Every day that we wake up, we understand that God has given us another opportunity to make the most of our day. You know what they say? Every day is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Psalms chapter 118, verse 24 says, "This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." So make sure that you make the most out of your day because that's a sign that God is not done with you. Another thing about recognizing God's presence is understanding blessings. Oftentimes, we associate these blessings that we receive on earth with the people who we get it from. But in reality, that's just God using others and manipulating circumstances so that we may be able to be blessed. James chapter 1 verse 17 says, "Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and it comes down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning." And I know we're used to just thinking blessings as gifts from others, but really a blessing is just God's favor and protection over you. I know for me one time, I was really upset about not being able to go somewhere, but in reality, that was God blessing me by protecting me from being from that situation. And it turns out I should not have been at that location. And instead, He directed me in a path that brought me to where He wanted me to be and was a better opportunity for me to live. And in those moments where we are being blessed, we need to be able to recognize and thank God for those blessings because it's not often that we recognize and thank God for all that He does because it's a constant, we get blessed every day. So don't forget that. Now let's talk about the blessings that God gives us in our lives. We need to appreciate how when God gives us opportunities, they're not only to help us benefit as people, but they're opportunities to help us grow closer to Him. And when we grow closer to God, we're able to live better lives. I know for me personally, there was a time period in which I was choosing between sin and God. And in those moments, He gave me an opportunity to come out of my sin and go closer to Him. And once you go closer to Him, He gives you more opportunities. So not only you can live a better life, but you might be able to help others. All right, so for here I have First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. "No temptation has overtaken you except such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make a way of escape that you might be able to bear it." So that way of escape that they're talking about is those opportunities to escape from sin and opportunities to grow closer to God. And even if it's not you dealing with sin, there are chances that God gives you in life, which are opportunities to help you just live better. So make sure you choose those opportunities. This verse also reminds us that God is faithful, that He will provide us a way out of our sin. And we can understand that when we are stuck in sin, what we can do is get on our knees and pray to God and ask Him to reveal His way to help us get out of the sin. Another way God can bless you is just by giving you a shift in mindset. God might be able to get into your mind and be able to make you rethink things so that you don't end up doing something stupid. I know for me, that's definitely happened to me a lot. And I know God has actually even put some ideas blessing me in my mind. That's how I even started this channel in the first place. God blessed me by giving me this idea. And in those moments where we are able to be blessed by God, by Him giving us these opportunities, by putting ideas into our head, we should understand that God is faithful, that we are able to fulfill His purpose by following what He has planned for us. Finally, I just want to remind us that we should not take God for granted. God is loving, He's kind, and He's merciful. And when we are able to recognize God's presence in our lives, we're able to live better lives because we know that God does a lot for us. And when you continuously see how much God does for you, it might even want to make you do things for others. I know Acts chapter 20, verse 35 says, it is more blessed to give than it is to receive, as well as Christians, we need to be able to recognize God's great works, as it says in Psalms chapter 107, verse 15. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. We are to give thanks to God through praising him. And there's nothing we can do to be worthy of what God does for us, but we could at least give thanks to him. And sometimes that might be by just being a blessing to others. Being a blessing to others because God has been a blessing to you. Thank you for watching. Um, Make sure you check out the TikTok as well and YouTube for more daily shorts. Thank you.